Hey there guys, I'm Logan from the Backwoodsman Institute. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about scent elimination. And I'm going to show you the techniques and the steps that I take to make myself as scent free as possible for big game hunting and predator hunting. So stay with me, you guys are going to learn a lot. Catch you in a bit. Now, one of the hardest things a hunter has to do is fool an animal's nose. Let's take white-tailed deer for an instance. They're walking around, sniffing the ground, constantly. They use their nose constantly and search for other deer, for food sources, and for danger and predators. And us as hunters are danger and predators to a white-tailed deer. And if they smell you or any other odor that's not natural to the woods, they're gone. They snorted, their tail's up, and they're gone. Now, the way we combat this is to go in the woods as scent-free as possible. And there's basically two types of odors that I consider we got to worry about. One is your surrounding odors that you pick up from being around in your house or around in public, such as gas fumes, cooking smells, fragrances such as cologne, deodorant, stuff like that, shampoo. All that stuff is going to tip off a deer that there's a human in this area. The next type of odor I consider is regular human odor. Not necessarily body odor, but the smell of a human, that we have a smell in the woods, is going to let them know that there's danger in that area, and they're going to steer away from that. So, first of all, surrounding odor, like I said, is anything that can get picked up, and it's most easily picked up onto our clothes. And the best way to combat this is to keep your clothes clean and washed with a scent-free laundry detergent, such as something like this. Now, this is Scentaway's Hunter Specialties scent-free laundry detergent, and there's all different types of brands: Dead Downwind, Wildlife Research, all that stuff. They got laundry detergent specifically made for hunters in the outdoors to be scent-free. Now, I'm going to show you another option that you can have is to just get some hypoallergenic, scent-free, dye-free, and fragrance-free laundry detergent if you wanted to go a different route, didn't want to spend your money on that. But these work the best because they're geared specifically for hunters, and they're relatively cheap. Now, if you don't want to go this route, like I said, hypoallergenic laundry detergent, one thing you got to make sure it has no color brighteners in it, because I don't know if you know this, but deer see in a spectrum of UV light that the humans don't see in. Well, all that UV brightener stuff, that comes from color enhancers. Whatever it is, you got to make sure it doesn't have that stuff in there. You want UV blocked laundry detergent, and a lot of the hunting detergents have that stuff already impregnated in it. Now, a lot of the old timers, before they had all this technology, they used baking soda to wash their clothes in. They'd wash themselves with it too, and I'll go into how we can combat human odor here in a little bit, but you can use baking soda as well. Now, like with all those other options I've given you, the best option to go with the technology we have now, the scent-free products made specifically for hunters. But how I would do that, I would just take my load of laundry, put it in the wash machine, and I wash everything from my socks, underwear, my gloves, my hats, everything. I put it in there with the laundry detergent. And then to dry it, a lot of people think that you can't dry it in your wash or your dryer. But you can hang it outside. But if you're like me in southern Indiana, it's real cold during deer season, and it may not be the best time to dry your clothes outside to get that air dried and to not pick up any other smells. What I like to do is you just put it straight in the dryer, and once your clothes are dry, I don't let them sit around. I don't let them pick up any outside odor, or inside odors, I should say. I put them straight into a waterproof, airproof bag. All right, I picked this up from Walmart. It's about $9. It's just a big waterproofing bag that you can is in the camping section. Another thing you can pick up, Hunter Specialties has these scent safe bags, and all they are just airproof, scent proof. And I usually put them in there, and then I put them straight into a Tupperware box, and then I store them. I don't want to store them inside my garage. A lot of people do that. I don't store them inside the garage because if you start your vehicles in there in the morning, you got gas fumes that could possibly get in your clothes, and that's adding surrounding odor into the woods. So I don't go about doing that, and I don't like to keep them outside because, like I said, during deer season it's cold, and I'm not going to walk out there half naked in the morning to get dressed and then head in the woods. So what I do is I keep them in a remote location down in the basement of our house or inside a house, away from the kitchen, away from the bathroom, all that stuff, to pick up any other fragrances or cooking smells, such like that. So that's where I keep my clothes. One thing I do not recommend is don't put them in a trash bag, because how many of y'all have ever had a garbage bag and you put it in the garage or whatever, you're going to throw it out later, you go into the garage and you can smell it, it's just permeated that whole garage. So if smell's coming out of there, you know smell can get in there. So a trash bag isn't the best idea for a scent-proof storage bag for your hunting clothes. Alright, one thing I advise you not to do is to get dressed. If you have to drive to your hunting location, to get dressed and drive in your truck and then get to your spot and then get out and start hunting. I don't advise that, because every day you're driving that truck to work or whatever, you're contaminating that with the surrounding odors. And if you have to get gas in the morning and you're wearing your hunting clothes, all that fumes are getting on into your clothing and attaching themselves, and you're just bringing them out into the woods with you, educating them deer and telling them to keep away from your area. So what I do is I dress in normal clothes, jeans, whatever, and with all my stuff packed up from the wash before, I keep it on the bed of my truck, and I get dressed in the field, and so I don't contaminate my hunting clothes with any other odors inside my truck, in my truck seat, or anything like that. So that's what I do, and that's what I advise doing if you have to drive to your hunting location. Another thing a lot of people don't think of is when they think of scent prevention and scent elimination, they don't think about all the odds and ends that they have. All right, if you're a bow hunter, you got a release. This is all fabric right here. Now, if you're wearing it in early archery season here in southern Indiana, it gets warm. It's still in the 50s and 60s still in early October. So you can sweat all in this, and you're going to put your human odor out there. So this field spray, this is Scent Killers Wildlife Research. Like I said, I don't pick one brand. I pick whatever's on sale is the one I'm going to use for that time until I'm out and I need to buy another one. But this is the field spray, and I spray all my equipment down, anything that can hold a smell. Now this release, all you gotta do is just spray it down on the cloth, and it's ready to rock and roll. Now another thing, your hat, is if you don't wash your hat, give it a quick spray down, and you can put it back on, and now that's scent free, because you're sweating in your hat, you're wearing your hat, all that stuff, your human odors getting onto that hat. Now if you wear a backpack out in the field, you want to make sure you spray down your backpack, but a lot of people don't think about the part that touches your back right here, the inside of your backpack. Make sure you spray that down with your field spray. And I always carry this around with me because I don't know when I'm going to need it, or if I'm sweating, I'm going to spray down my hat again, or my gloves, or my release, or something like that. I'm going to use it when I'm out in the field. It gives me an added insurance that I'm going to be as scent-free as possible. Now another thing, I got a neoprene sling on my inline muzzleloader. I spray that down before I go out in the woods, because if I take that muzzleloader in the house and into the hunting room, and it's sitting there, it can pick up any type of odor from inside that house. So I'm going to spray that down and make sure that's scent free before I go out in the woods too. Now I talked about going into the woods in our hunting clothes. Now how about coming at the end of the hunt? What I do is, if it was a hot day such as today and I was sweating in my hunting gear, I'm going to go ahead and wash that again. Or if I gutted a deer, or if I drug a deer out, I'm going to wash those clothes again, because I just sweated into them and I already put that human odor back into it. Now, if it was a cold morning and I just sat there and I didn't sweat, what I would do is I would take it off and I would spray down my hat with the field spray, and I would spray down my armpits, growing area, the back of the knees, all that stuff like that, because where a human, and I'll talk about human odor here in a little bit, but where a human produces the most scent from is places with hair, the top of our heads, our armpits, our groin region, places like that. Basically places where bacteria live and places where you sweat. That's where you can produce the most human odor. So I would spray that down with the scent eliminating spray, and then I would put it back in my airtight, scent-proof bag, ready for storage. Another key thing to think about when thinking about scent prevention and scent elimination is footwear. Now, I said before, clothing holds and traps surrounding odors. Now, the best material that does not is rubber. Rubber boots are a must for scent elimination and walking through the woods, because every animal that you come across has got their nose to the ground. They're sniffing what's been in front of them, and they're looking for food or whatever have you, but they're sniffing the ground all through the woods. Now, if they smell anything that you brought in there from your boots, they're not going to go that way no more. They're going to turn around and hightail it out of there. But like I said, this is one of the best materials that does not transfer surrounding odors, but it does hold some. So what I do is I take my field spray and I put a good coating on top and on bottom of my boots, so when I'm walking through the woods, my footprints are basically invisible to anything that's coming up on my trail or coming across my trail through the woods. So now let's talk about human odor. Human odor is caused from bacteria on our skin and the waste it produced from eating sweat, whatever it eats on our skin. The waste it produced is what caused human odor. And it's not necessarily body odor, what we think of. It's just the smell of a human in the woods. Now, how we're going to go about fixing this problem is we're going to go into the woods clean. We're going to take a shower beforehand, but we ain't just going to take it with any type of shampoo or body wash or anything like that. It's got to be scent-free. And just like the laundry detergent, there's a lot of different products out there. This is Dead Downwind's hair and body soap, and it's scent-free. It has scent prevention technology in there too, and it keeps you clean. It kills that bacteria, and it fights that bacteria for a good long while. So before you go in the woods, you got to get yourself clean, get that bacteria off. And like I said before, the old timers, how they used to do it, if they were gung-ho about, being scent-free, they'd wash their clothes in baking soda. They could also bathe in baking soda to get themselves scent-free. Now, what I consider a must, especially in early archery season here in southern Indiana, is a deodorant. All right, this Dead Downwind, it's scent-free and it's geared specifically for hunters, not the general consumer. So the big thing I want you guys to take away from this video and the scent eliminating techniques that I use are: keep yourself clean with unscented body wash, use unscented deodorant, keep your clothes clean with unscented laundry detergent, and then when all else fails, take your field spray along with you in your backpack or your fanny pack, whatever have you, and spray yourself down periodically if you feel yourself starting to sweat, or if you have any doubt if maybe your gloves, you didn't wash them or whatever, spray them down. That works great. So there it is, guys. Hope you learned something from the techniques that I just showed you. And scent elimination kind of go hand in hand with cover scents. And I'm going to be making a cover scent video right here shortly. You can watch it right after this if you want to. It'll be posted. And they go pretty much in tandem with each other. So hope you guys learned a lot. And like I said, if you try to be as scent-free as possible and you have the wind on your side, and even if it does mess up a little bit, if you're as scent-free as possible, you are going to see more game. You will see more game than if you just went out there not even caring about it. So hope you guys learned a lot. Catch you in a bit.